Today on FTC Now Highlights, we're at the Santee Electric Cooperative Conference Center in Kingstree, South Carolina, for a special event brought to you by Vital Aging. And the special guest? None other than back-to-back College World Series coach of the Carolina Gamecocks, Ray Tanner. The bases are loaded. It's the bottom of the ninth, so get ready for another home run here on FTC Now Highlights. Vital Aging really did pull out all the stops to make this event happen. The silent auction was packed full of incredible memorabilia and hard-to-find collectibles. The conference center was dripping with garnet and black. And there was enough food to feed, well, all of these people. To find out more, I checked in with the three guys running the show. Vital Aging's very own Robert Welch, Senator Yancey McGill, and of course, South Carolina's head baseball coach, Ray Tanner. Hey guys, welcome back to FTC Now Highlights. We're out here at a special event brought to you by Vital Aging, and I am here with Mr. Robert Welch of Vital Aging, the Executive Director. Tell us what's going on.
Well, we're most privileged this evening to have Coach Ray Tanner with us for a dinner and silent auction as a benefit for our senior clients for Vital Aging.
It's awesome, and the stuff that you have in the silent auction here is incredible.
Yes,
is that golf cart in the silent auction?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And there's some wonderful items. You know, our ladies are quite expert at quilting, and there's a Gamecock quilt handcrafted by our Kingstree Wellness Center ladies that's available in the auction tonight. There also is a teddy bear, a Gamecock teddy bear that's in the auction that's crafted by one of our ladies in the Greeleyville Center, as well as other handmade craft items such as quilts and such, and some wonderful donated items throughout the community. People have just been so warm-hearted and generous for this event and looking out for our senior citizens, which is what it's all about.
Absolutely. Tell us about the message that Vital Aging is trying to provide tonight.
Well, thank you for asking. Vital Aging is here to primarily meet the nutritional needs of senior citizens in Williamsburg County, whether it be through our three wellness centers that we have located in Greeleyville, Kingstree, and Hemingway, or through our home-delivered meal program to the frail shut-ins. We also offer some other services such as foster grandparent program. We have a team of dedicated seniors that are out there every day working with children in schools and tutoring and mentoring capabilities.
Now, after tonight, you've got a lot of events lined up. Can you tell us about some of them that are going to be going on?
Well, one of the things, of course, coming up in December, our sheriff, who is also on our board, sponsors a Christmas dinner for the seniors of Vital Aging. We're very grateful for that. If you're a senior citizen out there, that is if you're age 60 or older and you're interested in services, I would highly encourage you to call. We have fun throughout the year. We have picnics, we have wellness center activities, we've got field trips, everything to keep you healthy and active, because that's really what it's all about.
Absolutely.
As we age, we try to keep our seniors healthy and active and away from skilled or long-term care.
Absolutely, and you guys do such a great job of it. I got to tell you, though, if you guys can get a shot of this place is decked out in Gamecock memorabilia. I really don't know if there's a single Clemson fan in the entire place. This is incredible. Well, thank you so much for putting this on.
Well, I want to say thank you to Farmers Telephone Cooperative that has been an outstanding partner for many years for the agency, and thank you, FTC Now, for being here.
Well, we thank you very much, Mr. Robert.
Thank you so much.
And you guys stay tuned to FTC Now Highlights. I'm here with the man himself, Senator Yancey McGill. How's it going?
It's going really well, thank you. I tell you, it's an exciting night. We've got Coach Ray Tanner, the hero of South Carolina.
Absolutely.
And I can tell you all over this country, we're delighted to have him here with us tonight. A lot of citizens from all over the region, not just Williamsburg County, are coming in and visiting. And we just really are grateful that he's coming in to help Vital Aging, a major senior opportunity for some of the new vans that they're trying to raise money for. And it makes a big difference to know that such a man as Ray Tanner would take his time and come, and he drove by himself, drove all the way from Columbia, and he's here tonight to help raise money, and we're delighted. But we want to thank Farmers Telephone for what y'all mean to our county and the whole region, this entire state. And I can tell you now that tonight, well, as I understand, thousands and thousands of dollars have been raised for the seniors of Williamsburg County specifically. And I can tell you now, Robert Welch and this board are a dynamic board. They're doing a great job. And so we're all excited tonight.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, I've got my eyes set on the golf cart back there, but I need a partner to go hand in hand with me. What you think? We just drive away in the golf cart?
I think what happens is we contact Ray Tanner and say, Ray, would you get in and drive it out, and you and I'll sit on the golf cart as we leave.
See, this is why this guy's got so much power right here. Thank you so much. I am here with an infamous man himself, Mr. Ray Tanner. Over 1,000 wins under his belt and back-to-back championships for the South Carolina Gamecocks baseball team. Tell us, what are we doing out here today?
Well, I'm out here to celebrate Vital Aging, the banquet tonight to raise funds to help out the citizens of Williamsburg County. So it's a great cause. I'm glad to be a part of it.
It's very awesome. Now tell me, what are you going to be speaking about?
Well, a little bit of everything, talking a little bit of baseball, talking about the elderly, and talking about things that mean the most, and it's reaching out and helping people in your community.
Your actual charity is a lot like Vital Aging. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it is. I think it's an organization where you're trying to reach out and do things to help people who need it the most, and the Ray Tanner Foundation is sort of designed to help out medically, physically challenged, handicapped children. It's sort of based on children. It's not exclusive, but we try to help children in the state of South Carolina and in the Midlands. So we reach out and do everything we can to make lives better for other people.
Absolutely. Now the important question, how are we looking on this season? We got to be good, right? We got to be good. We've won 2 World Series back-to-back. What are we looking like for 2012?
Well, it's the preseason, so spring brings hope. So we're trying to prepare to get ready for 2012. Got a good-looking group of young players. Got a lot of veterans back: Matt Price, Michael Roth, and Christian Walker, Evan Marzell. A lot of older guys back. So we're going to try to put another good team on the field.
Perfect. Absolutely. Now, here goes a very important question. Is there enough room in the trophy case 2012?
I think we could probably make room for that.
I think so.
Well, let's just hope that works out.
Perfect. You guys stay tuned to FTC Now Highlights. As always, we're bringing you the best.
But it's going to be an exciting afternoon and evening tonight. We've got Coach Tanner here with us tonight, 2 back-to-back world champions. What else can we say? But anyway. With your strong community support, Vital Aging is only a couple of weeks away from completing their walk-in cooler project. And it really helps. Vital Aging drives nearly 1,000 miles every week. 1,000 miles every week, delivering meals to shut-ins and homebound people, and they deserve a round of applause for all the good job they do for that. So remember, that's the reason you're here, is to help support Vital Aging. And Coach Tanner has graciously come, and he's graciously signed some of your memorabilia. And we would love it if you would graciously sign a check, either on silent auction items or just as a donation here to Vital Aging.
Thank you, Bobby, and I'd like to start off by saying how much we are so delighted to see so many citizens coming out, supporting senior citizens, and you need, let's give yourselves a round of applause, please. Tonight, I can't help but think that when I did a lot of research, which was probably a small amount, because this man, I tell you what, he's all over every web page. You can find him anywhere. And I can tell you now that the first thought I had, Coach, was never forget from where you come. I can't help but think that about you after I read so many things. Tonight's speaker, Ray Tanner, was born on March 25th, 1958, in Smithfield, North Carolina. He's married to the former Karen Donald, a graduate of the University of South Carolina. She was down in the Charleston area, Mount Pleasant. 3 children, Gracie, Maggie, and Luke. I can tell you tonight, Coach Tanner, with your affiliation with the Wolfpack baseball program for more than 20 years, a lot of individuals don't know that you spent 4 years as a starter every year in 1976, and that you played shortstop and third base. It was evident by the award that you won there. You earned the All-Atlantic Coast Conference honor, and there's no question that your records at NC State still stand today in many areas. He got his degree his Bachelor of Science degree in Recreation Administration. He got his Master's of Public Service in Public Administration. I can also tell you that he worked as assistant coach at NC State, and whenever Coach Sam Esposito, when he retired, you were moved up and you were 28 years of age, but one of the youngest coaches in this country. It was evident as a coach that you received the Atlantic Coast Conference Coach of the Year, that you were named Atlantic Region Coach of the Year when your team won some 49 games. What a year. I can also tell you that there's no question in my mind, Coach Tanner, that you gained valuable experience at the international level. A lot of citizens don't know this. A lot of fans. That you, with the association with the United States baseball team, he had served 5 stints with the red, white, and blue, including in 2003 as head coach for the United States national baseball team. And at the helm of some of the top freshmen and sophomores in the country, Tanner's club finished with a 27-2 record. The best record for a United States national team. It was a .931 winning percentage, and won a silver medal at the 2003 Pan American Games. He was named the United States National Coach of the Year. Tanner served as an assistant coach under Tommy Lasorda for the 2000 Olympic team that won a gold medal at the Olympics in Sydney, Australia. He was also an assistant, and they won a bronze medal in the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta, Georgia. In 1996, on June 14th, Coach Tanner was named the South Carolina head coach, a 3-time National Coach of the Year and Southeastern Conference Coach of the Year. Coach Tanner just completed 15 years as head coach at the University of South Carolina. Coach Tanner has established one of the premier programs in all of college baseball, with milestones and accomplishments piling up each season. Coach Tanner's 15th season with the Garnet and Black culminated in Omaha, Nebraska, where the Gamecocks won the 2011 National Championship, becoming only the 9th repeat champion in MCWS history. Carolina was the first team to go to 10-0 in NCAA tournament play, 3-0 in regional, 2-0 in super regional, 5-0 in MCWS in one season. The Gamecocks, who entered the tournament as the number 4 national seed, established NCAA records with 16 consecutive postseason wins and 11 consecutive wins in the College World Series. I'm going to tell you something. I took and I pulled up 4 pages up until I walked in this room tonight. I was Xing things out. It was just so much. It was too much. It was overwhelming. And I can tell you now that you are, in my idea, after reading all about you, and our legend here in South Carolina. And we claim you as our very own, and I can tell you your success has come from hard work. And it's come from being dedicated with the right attitude. And I can tell you, he came from a good family. With that, let's welcome him. Let's stand and give a round of applause.
Feeling pretty good about myself when I got here tonight, but after listening to the senator, I think I'm 98 years old. That's a long resume. I thought he was going to start saying who my girlfriends were in junior high. I am delighted to be here. I grew up in a small town with a couple of stoplights. I loved every minute of it, and we often referred to it as God's country. And someone told me tonight that we're glad to have you down here in God's country. So I'm glad to be a part of this tonight. I will speak just for a few minutes, and what I'd like to do is entertain some questions and talk about some things that you would like to talk about, but I'll share a few things with you. As the Senator said, I'm entering my 16th year at the University of South Carolina. I'm extremely grateful and honored to be the coach of the prestigious university in Columbia. I do not take that for granted. As many of you follow sports, sometimes you don't last that long. And every day, like a lot of you, I'm a little bit old-fashioned, and despite the world of technology, I still get the newspaper delivered to my driveway. And although it's gotten real thin, the state newspaper, it's something that I do. And first thing I do is I check the transactions on the sports page to make sure that I'm not listed. Then I flip over 2 or 3 pages to the obituaries, and if I'm not there, then it's going to be a good day. So I look forward to that. But I'm extremely happy to be where I am. I spent a lot of time in North Carolina. I was a player at North Carolina State, graduate school, assistant coach, head coach. I actually stayed on that campus for 20 consecutive years from the time I was a freshman until I left for Columbia. I never had a resume. I never looked for another job. My dad always taught me that a lot of people think it's greener on the other side. It's not. Therefore, I never had a resume. I just kept grinding it out every day, and one day I get this phone call from then athletics director Dr. Mike McGee. Now, I didn't know Dr. McGee. I knew he played football at Duke University. He was an Outland Trophy winner, so I knew enough about sports. When he called, he introduced himself, and I said, I know you won the Outland Trophy when you were at Duke. And he said, would you be interested in coming to the University of South Carolina? And I said, well, Dr. McGee, I'm flattered that you would call, but I'm involved with the USA team. This was the summer of 1996. The Olympics were in Atlanta, and I was heavily involved in that. Matter of fact, the day he called was my last day at home. I was leaving to start doing a USA tour that would culminate in Atlanta. And I said, I just can't entertain that. It's just not possible because I'm going to be on the road every day with the USA national team. And he says, well, I appreciate it. I'll stay in touch with you. I said, no, I'm not going to be able to entertain that because I'm going to be busy. He said, okay, I'll stay in touch with you. And I said, okay, have a good day. Well, he knew that my wife graduated from the University of South Carolina. So I flew out that day, and about 3 or 4 days later, I was checking in with my wife, and she said, have you talked to Dr. McGee? I said, no, I talked to him, Saturday night before I left home. She said, well, he and I have talked 2 or 3 times. And I said, how's it going? She said, it's going pretty good. I think we're moving to Columbia. And I says, well, that's great. And sure enough, he came to see me. I was out one night in Millington, Tennessee, a few days later, and here he comes. He comes barreling in there. I think Joe Byer might have flown him in there on that little plane we had at the school at the time, and we sat down at the card table and talked for like 4 hours. And I'd never been on the job circuit. I wasn't one of those guys, and we chatted up and talked a little bit, and he asked me what I thought it would take to put a program together, and I talked for a long time when he asked me that question, and we chatted it up. And so he said, if I offer you the job, will you accept it? And I said, are you offering me the job? He said, are you going to accept it? So we played that game for a little while, and it was great, though. It was one of those situations that I'd been in one place a long time. And my wife, who graduated at Carolina, was working at North Carolina State for the late Coach Kay Yao, women's basketball coach. And we had met there, and she was so fond of the state. She grew up in Mount Pleasant and the university that she was sort of excited that we might have a chance to return. I was extremely familiar with the Gamecocks, Bobby Richardson, June Raines, all the history, the tradition. the wonderful fans, the great support, the passion, the enthusiasm. All those things were very, very important to me. And lo and behold, in the summer of '96, we made the move, and it seems like yesterday, and now I'm headed into year 16. Some wonderful things have happened for our program. It's really been incredible. I've been out speaking quite a bit. I'm not a great speaker by any means, but I learned something many years ago. When I first started coaching, I was 27 years old and I became a head coach. I turned 28 during the season. Obviously, I was wet behind the ears. I was a youngster. I was fortunate, the timing was perfect for the guy that I played for and later became his assistant. The timing was impeccable. You may remember the late Jim Valvano, basketball coach at North Carolina State, won a national championship in 1983. He became the athletics director also. He hired me when I was 27. And I rolled up my sleeves, I put my head down, and I plowed forward. And I was going to try to work extremely hard. I was going to try to be the very best that I could be. And when I say I, it's always a we, to make the program as good as it could be. And there's some value in that. Although it took me a few years to understand that that's not the way it works. And I was, in my early years of trying to find my way when I did end up marrying the girl that I'm with now, and the Carolina graduate, and I was not very happy. I was just not very happy. We had some immediate success, but I couldn't get to a point that I enjoyed what I was doing enough. And that was my life. And it was troubling to me. The problem was, I didn't enjoy the journey enough. I wasn't appreciating my surroundings. I didn't appreciate enough people. It wasn't I was disrespectful. I just didn't see what was going on. And once my wife helped me in that area, then my career became so much more enjoyable. And that's one of the things that has made this journey so special. I don't feel a lot of pressure as a coach. I did when I first started, but I don't now. We don't do goals. We don't do big boards to say what we're trying to accomplish. In our program, we try to do the best we can do today and be the best that we can be this particular day. And it took me quite a while. I love the community. We started a foundation in my name about 7 years ago, I guess it was. It's called the Ray Tanner Foundation. I didn't think that was a good idea. I told my wife, I said, I need to be as discreet as possible. Because when your name's on something, sometimes that's not good. They named the football stadium after Bobby Bowden. He's not there anymore. They start naming things after you, and I don't want anything named after you. But she said, we've got to do more in our community. And I said, but since we've been married, we have been very active in our communities. We go to fundraisers, we do things volunteering, we believe in a lot of charities, we help out. She says, that's not enough. I said, but it's a lot. I said, I know a lot of people that don't do as much as we do. She said, we got to do more. We're starting a foundation with your name on it. So, what do you say, guys? I mean, when they tell you that, after a couple minutes, you go, yeah, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. So that's what I did. So we started a foundation. It's great. We have 2 of our children are adopted, and we sort of started with a foundation that reaches out to the medically, physically challenged, disadvantaged children and their families. It's not unique to children, but that's sort of the way we based our foundation. If you go to our website, raytannerfoundation.org, you'll see our hands. We got like children's hands, which is really neat. And we've been able to reach out to so many people and help out in so many ways. And it doesn't matter if it's Clemson, it doesn't matter if it's the Citadel or Wofford or Furman or Carolina. It's one of the greatest things that I've ever been involved in, because everybody pulls together. Just like you being here tonight. Why you're here, and many of you are volunteering, many of you have supported financially. This is what it's all about. And this is the most wonderful thing that you can be a part of, is to be able to reach out and give back in one capacity or another. And that excites me. I love my job. I love coaching. It's great. It's a lot of fun. But it's just a sport. It's just a sport. And maybe one day that'll end. But your community never ends. And the opportunity to give back. And it's been so much fun. It's allowed me to enjoy the professional years because of the involvement in the community and reaching out to so many different people. People said you coached a lot of teams over the years. Was that your best team? Was last year your best team? I don't know how you evaluate those things. If you go by talent alone, it's probably not in my top 3 or 4 or 5. Probably somewhere down there, 5 or 6. But it was a great team. It was a team that was selfless. It was a team that literally cared about each other more than a lot of teams do. And that's one of the things I try to emphasize. We always talk about playing for the name on the front of your jersey, not the name on your back. That's one of the things I'm most difficult to deal with on our team. I'm not into me, I'm not into you. I'm into the team. And when you get to that point, you're okay with me. Sometimes young players have trouble getting there because we create these situations in high school, no matter what the sport is, that they're pretty special. And they can walk on water. And they get recruited a little bit. Things get inflated. And that's okay, as long as you can check yourself at the door. And I have a team meeting at the beginning of the year, and I explain to them this is the way it's going to be. Many of you guys aren't there yet, but you will get there. If you can't get there, your zip code will change. And most of them get there. But the good fortune for me is when you have a program, you have a system. Michael Roth, Matt Price, Christian Walker, Evan Marzelli, Adam Matthews, they take care of that. So sometimes I'll start to grab a player and one of the older guys will go, Coach, I got it. Because it's a little better coming from them. And they're good about that because they understand that it is about the University of South Carolina. It's not about the individuals. And if anything good happens, it's a lot more enjoyable to have it, to share it with somebody. The wins and losses, they're a little bit harder to control. But the experience, the camaraderie, the relationships, the life, that's what it's all about. I know that I'm getting old and I've coached for a while, but I love it. It's great to see these guys come and go. Some of them make mistakes and some of them grow from it. But it's wonderful to be a part of their lives. And I guess the good news for me is since I've been coaching, my clientele is always 18 to 22. See, that never changes. So I forget that I got older, they didn't. And so at times I'm like, you know, my players come back and they got a child. I go, you got a child? They go, yeah, and you should be a grandfather and you got little children. I said, yeah, that's how it goes. But it's great. And again, I'm honored to be here tonight. I appreciate you having me a part of this evening. I hope it's very productive. I hope there's a lot of names back there, and I appreciate the opportunity to be with you. Thank you.